Cops. It's a 2014 comedy film that I just got back from a screening for, which is funny because this movie doesn't come out till like August. One of the earliest screenings I've been to for sure. It's directed by Luke Greenfield, and the plot is we meet these two guys, they're roommates. They've been living in LA for a few years now with the plan to make something of themselves, to try to be something. You have Jake Johnson, who was a really good football player. You thought he was going to go somewhere, go pro, but he got injured. And you have Damon Wayans Jr. Yes, Damon Wayans had a son. Who knew? You have him, who he works at a video game designing company, and he's trying to get his boss to see his ideas, to see what video game he wants to be made, but he's kind of shy. It's not really working out for him. So the two of them are like, fuck, either we admit that we failed and go back to Ohio, or we figure something out. They both get invited to this costume party, or at least they think it's a costume party, but you find out it's a masquerade party, so they showed up dressed up like cops and feeling like idiots. So when that goes completely awry, they leave, they're walking the streets until they realize that with them in uniform, people are showing them respect. People are looking at them like, holy shit, they're the law. And somehow chicks look at them like they're hot magnets. Who knew that chicks dig cops? But so the rest of the film, they almost fully embrace pretending to be cops until they get caught up in some deep shit. Now, what I thought of Let's Be Cops was, I surprisingly liked this movie. I did, because I remember seeing a trailer for this a little while ago, and I thought, okay, this is a funny premise, I guess. Two friends who just, the way how they stumble upon pretend to be cops. Like, at first it made sense. You see them, they just happen to be wearing the uniform, and just seeing the reaction that they were getting from people on the street, I don't blame them for rolling with it, going with it. But then, of course, they just kept doing it. Especially Jake Johnson, who, he's an actor that I always see play side characters in a bunch of comedy films. This is the first I've seen him be the main character. I thought he was quite funny. He wasn't too over the top. He wasn't like an asshole douchebag that he could have been. No, he was a likable, funny guy. And you got why he wanted to keep doing this. I just was sitting there, though, thinking, wait, how much longer do you guys think you can keep this up? Pretend to be cops. And this is so illegal that whatever perks you're getting at the moment, it's so not going to be worth it. I just couldn't wrap my mind around why they kept doing this. And then, I don't want to spoil too much because none of this is really in the trailer. I'll just put it this way. There's a point in the film where you realize that, yeah, being cops or pretending to be cops is not all fun and games. In fact, it's some serious shit. When it went down a more serious, almost road, it surprised me, but that's when I got more into the film, because I'm like, wow, they actually put some more effort behind this story, did something with the plot. I appreciated that. Like I said, Damon Wayans Jr., I didn't know that Damon Wayans had a son, but there you go. And he was funny in the film. He was more of the apprehensive one, or I guess you could also say the bitch of the movie, because he just didn't want anything to do with this. Which I was like, yeah, that's how you should be. But then he kept getting talked into doing more stuff, or kept going out and doing more stuff, and I'm like, wow. And he got his ass kicked probably so many more times than anyone else in the film. So yeah, there was that. But I will give him this. In the movie, he starts dating this girl played by Nina Dobrev. And when I saw her, I had two thoughts. I thought, wow, she's insanely hot. And two, she looks really familiar. And I was thinking about it until I realized, wow, she's on the Vampire Diaries. She's the main chick on that. I don't watch the show, but I've seen so many commercials for the show that I was like, that's who she is. And I don't know why. It's almost like when I see a hot chick in a movie, I have to pinpoint where I might know them from. It's a weird habit indeed. As far as some of the other casts, you have Andy Garcia, who was a pleasant surprise to see in this film. I don't know if that's a good thing that he's in a random movie like this, non-advertised, but there you go. Rob Riggle is also in the film, and he's one of those guys who always shows up as a side character in these comedy movies. He doesn't disappoint. He's funny in here too. And so just this movie overall, it's going to be hard to talk about without spoiling it. So I'm just going to say that this was a pleasant surprise. Let's Be Cops. Going into this, I thought it was just going to be another sort of random comedy that wasn't really going to be too special or too memorable. But I will say that there is a lot more to this movie. It is really funny. There was a lot of nice big laughs that I got, that the whole screening theater had. So many moments where we just couldn't believe what was going on screen. These two had good chemistry. They were good partners together. And the premise alone, there's a part of you that at first makes you think, hey, this seems like easy. Let's fucking do this. Let's be cops. But then you get to the end of the movie and you're like, no, I don't want to be cops. Like, never, ever. Yeah, I'm going to give it a matinee. Call me Mr. Matinee, because apparently that's what I'm giving a lot of movies this year. But still, this movie was funny enough and a pleasant surprise. Maybe my expectation level going into this helped me enjoy it a lot more, sure. But still, I do recommend you guys check out Let's Be Cops. Let me know in the comments below if you have any interest in seeing this film. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Later!